So I'm gonna call it order our meeting tonight, and we do have a quorum, barely tonight, but we do. And we are going to say the pledge. She the flag of the United States of America. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. We have an address today. Well, we have a lot of visitors tonight. Yes.
Well, you have your presenters.
Yeah, perfect. And then we have a revision to our agenda tonight, so we are gonna remove action item 2, out of state travel for the music program, so I need a motion to approve the.
So I move to approve the revision tonight, the agenda to remove action item 2 and include.
Okay, perfect. All right, so then I also need a, oh yes, then I need to vote because I'm really good at that. And so all in favor? All right, and then I need a motion to approve it.
I move to approve the agenda.
Okay, and now I'll vote. All right, perfect. All right, that was a little bit. All right, so then also can I get motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, all in favor? All right. Special presentation. Do we have a presentation? Perfect. All right, so then we are to our safe routes for schools presentation. Amelia, and Treasurer.
Great.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us so much. My name is Amelia Adams, and this is my colleague Trevor Liu. We are with Alta Planning and Design, and we're an active transportation firm who specialize in walking and biking and safety and all of those great things, specifically safe routes to school. And we're here on behalf of the Oregon Department of Transportation, working on the Project Identification Program. This is a grant that Creswell received to do a project planning process with our assistants, and we're working with both the school board, with the city, and then with other partners such as LPOG, and we've got a good representation here of all of it. So our job here is to take a look around, listen to people, observe what's going on. You may have seen us today in our yellow vests, wandering around the town, wandering around the schools, and just looking at issues, barriers for safe walking and biking for students. So we're here tonight just to give you a little update about what this process is, and then also the kinds of things that we've been learning by working with the community and these partners at the school district and the city. Trevor, next slide. So my very quick agenda, this presentation will be really fast, is just give you a little bit of an idea about what is the purpose of this Safe Routes to School plan that we're trying to build here. What does the process look like? And then some of the things that we've learned so far through our work. And then finally, what are the opportunities for people in the community as well as the school board members and school staff to get involved in this process. So the purpose of this process is that ODOT really wants to reach across the state to work with communities to help make it safer and more accessible for students and families who want to bike to school, walk to school, and also take transit or use the school bus to get to school. So we want to help also prepare communities to collaborate across agencies and jurisdictions. So getting the school board working with the county, with the city, with any other nonprofits or organizations that can be involved in making it safer. Could include county health departments, others who are interested in walking and biking safety. Our job is to help identify projects that can be expedited and pushed forward for ODOT, Safe Routes to School program, construction and education grants. ODOT offers grants to help build things, but also to help strengthen programs, education, encouragement, fun things for kids, getting them involved in active transportation. And then finally, we really strive to align with what else is going on in the city. Things like bonds that we've heard about today, things like other planning processes, countywide, citywide planning, and school district strategic planning, really try to align those processes. So where we are in this process is that we started with kind of getting to know the community, learning from the people on the project management team. Today, we were here for a school safety assessment, and we walked around, we took tons of notes. You probably saw us with our big maps. We either hold a community meeting or we come to speak at the school district, city council, something like that to really get the word out. And we did outreach through the community to try to promote our public input map. And this is a map online where people can input points of interest, to say, this is a barrier that I've noticed. I don't feel safe with my kids walking here. I'd really like to be able to go here, but I can't. So that's kind of what we're trying to gather information, learn everything we can. The next step is that we're going to take all that home and in the next few weeks, make some recommendations and bring those back to the community for their review. So that'll be something that we'll try and get to all of our contacts, get to the school district, get to the school board. And then finally, we're going to turn that into a draft safe routes to school plan. So that'll also go out in public comment. And the goal is by the end of the school year, or slightly after, to have that final safe routes to school plan complete. All right, next slide. So some of the things we've learned, just to give you an idea, is the key locations. We're looking a lot at A Street along the south side of Creswell Elementary, right where we're standing. 10th Street, south of Creswell. We're looking at just making sure that with that area, like speeds are not too high coming in towards the school. We've heard a lot about crossings. Another thing is the Creswell Road and Oregon Avenue. Looking at the existing TSP recommendations, making it safer to cross for the students who do cross. And then finally for the high school, looking at Harvey Road, 5th Street, and Mid-Block Lane to get to the high school. There's a lot of opportunities that we have heard about as well. We've heard about a walking school bus from Holt Park, and then another one from the neighborhood to the west of the school. Connections from Harvey Road and Mid-Block Lane, including the what is it called? The BARC path along the high school, which is great. Existing recommendations in the TSB and Lane County Bicycle Master Plan. There's lots of plans, and we want to kind of consolidate and figure out what's going to work. And then finally, we also learned about the school district bond today, so that's something important. So ways that the community can get involved. This was our opportunity for people to attend a meeting, and we wanted to reach the school board directly. We also held a couple walk-ins today. And then finally, the public input map, which that's the location where you can find it. And you can also reach Trevor and I can share the QR code with you as well. But this is something that we're trying to get out to anyone and everyone who might be interested in that, so that they can put in their comments directly. Our next steps are going to be that community members continue to share information. We've already got information coming in through that map. We're going to draft those recommendations, come up with a draft plan, send it out for public comment, and then, like I said, get that final plan up. And this is just an example of what I think maybe a month ago what the public input map looked like. So people leaving comments around the town to indicate things that they'd like to see, barriers that they're concerned about. So I'll leave business cards for Trevor and I who want to reach out, but also feel free to talk to Joel. He's got all the information. We're really glad to be with you all, and I think that we could make some good recommendations, eventually improvements.
Yeah, we appreciate having you come and give us a presentation today. Did you have any questions for us?
Those drafts they reference, I'll make sure to include those in my board reports. So
Okay,
we'll
good.
continue to see those, and we can always welcome them back in the presentation at the end if we wanted to. I'm sure you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
I just like inviting them.
No, good presentation. So, yeah, so well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And feel free if you'd like to leave. Or thanks if you'd like to get home.
Yeah.
Thanks. So,
Yeah, I had that, that's couple of things. So,
Our next agenda item is on higher education program.
yes, and Mike, did you have to? I'm just a presenter.
Yeah. Yeah, so the migrant, you can see, they've narrated up there, the migrant program has been around for more than 40 years or so, and our kids participate in the migrant ed program every summer, and they have been for years. And, but their experiences, I like that they're project-based program and that they, work with kids, they're very cultural based, and you'll see that in the video. How they, work to maintain, their cultural identity and traditions, and, so it's just a great experience for our kids. They wanted you to see how their program works in the summer and see how kids interact with their teachers and the experience that they have. So, go ahead, Joel.
And like, can I make it a question? And you can use that.
Bethany.
So she's in it. So that's kind of exciting.
It might come on kind of loud, so.
Que me da mucho gusto haber podido hacer esta actividad con ustedes, a los estudiantes, a los nosotros, de su alegría, de su creatividad, de su pasión por la vida, de su sentido de humor, de su inteligencia, de todos sus estudiantes. Nos dio mucho gusto tenerlos aquí y espero que el año que viene vengan ustedes y se traigan a sus amistades para que también sigan creciendo el programa que podamos ofrecer diferentes experiencias para todos. Mi nombre es María de la Luz, tengo 3 hijos, ya participado en el programa Migrante. Lo que me gusta del programa es que durante el año escolar tenemos apoyo cuando necesitamos ayuda por nuestros hijos. Lo que más me encanta es el idioma, que me pueden entender mis necesidades y las de mis hijos. Me gusta que cuando pedimos ayuda, la inmediatamente. Y lo que me gusta del programa es la ilusión que le dan a mi hija a asistir, los proyectos que le enseñan, las historias que le cuentan. Entonces, a mí me da gusto cuando llega a casa quieren compartir con sus primos, los que no asisten, porque a veces practican, a veces no hay el transporte, a veces no hay tanta la ayuda que ellos quisieran tener para asistir al programa igual que mi hija. La escuela de verano para mí es perfecta. Es un tiempo que los no me gusta también para ellos. Es que me hizo terminar con ustedes. Es amor. Y eso para mí está. Y creo que no es una mitad. ¿Qué maestro para él? Tomar la historia de nuestro país y en el eso que se enseñan más de la cultura hispana y pues es una ayuda para los padres que también están ellos aprendiendo ayuda, tanto culturalmente, nos sentimos identificados con nuestra cultura, y mucho de ahora lo del valor, de la calle,
We thought that was fun, so we wanted to share with you guys today. Right, so I'm here. Jonathan.
Yeah, so, the activities that I've been involved in, and I did highlight a few things, for you. The strategic planning process is moving forward, and, we're working on the vision and the, portrait of a graduate vision. We had our final meeting today to make some edits after receiving, quite a bit of feedback from the community. And, I would say about 35% of the participants that we received feedback from was staff, and the remainder was all parents, actually. And so we did make some edits, and we'll be bringing that final draft to you next week or next month, to the meeting. But it really shaped up nicely with the feedback that we received from the community. It looks really good, very powerful. And then, let's see, we have moved forward with the facilities plans, a draft, to coincide with the bond. And, the bond has gone forward, as you know, but we now have a political action committee that is formed and is working, within the community. And then, the second area or bold step that we've taken with our strategic plan, along with the, moving forward with the bond, is the health and wellness program or improvements that we wanted to make. And we've implemented a new nutrition food preparation program with scratch foods. So since April 3rd, we returned from spring break, and our kids and staff have been enjoying scratch food cooking at each of the schools. And the reports that I'm getting our staff are just as excited about the lunches as our students are. We have more staff buying lunches daily than we've had in a year in the past for many years. And so things are going really well with the
Yeah, I've heard him.
nutrition.
Mike, did you see that they actually made a record here, 403 lunches? That's the most they've ever done.
They have 430 lunches today.
Wow, and they beat their record already.
That's a lot.
And they've been going over 400 since last week, but all this week it's been over 400.
And
Just
the
in
staff,
this
and the
school.
staff is like adjusting well to the new food and
Oh,
for preparation and all of that.
Mhm.
The new- Getting that.
Yeah, it's more work, but I would say the end result, the satisfaction that they're getting out of it with the kids and the staff, the participation of the staff is really, keeping the wind in their sails. I think most lunches that Donna reported ever being sold here in a year, or the highest number was 9 lunches in a month. And that only happened 1 year. And today alone, she sold 11 lunches staff, 11 staff members bought lunch today, but it's been increasing daily since last week. That's all I
They
have.
have another option.
I've been talking to people about it. A lot of the, they always, all of them want to talk about that first thing I did. And they didn't do that.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Great job there.
That's awesome. So exciting that that happened.
Yeah, we're gonna Give our hat to Chanel on that one. She did the research. She went out and pulled them in and got it started and got our crew on board with it. And I mean, it's just been a great process, a great collaborative process to make it happen. I mean, to make it happen that
And I'm
fast.
just saying, Rick, you hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's like,
It's fast.
Any questions on my report or activities? Okay.
Nobody have any public comment? Didn't have any public comment, so we didn't have any public comment.
No, sorry, yes.
Okay, okay. All right, so then we move on to our unfinished business, which would be, as an action item to approve superintendent Jonathan's evaluation. So that was all of our board books that we all read it, so I just need a motion to approve it. All right, all in favor? No, that, okay. All right, so do you have anything that you?
I just want to thank the board for a thorough examination of my skills, characteristics, and accomplishment this year. Over the past 3 years, we've had many challenges and many successes, a lot of achievements, and this year was no different. And, you know, we've come through, a little bit ahead of us, but I look forward to finishing strong. But, with that, you know, it would be remiss of me if I didn't say that my district leadership team is the muscle behind all of this work. You know, their work ethic and their attitude about working with kids and leading this district is second to none. And I have to say that any achievements that I made or the strength of my evaluation that you've given me, I will share with them.
Well, we really appreciate you. We appreciate how much we have accomplished in the last few years and.
Finish.
Finish strong, finish strong, finish.
Stand two.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we definitely appreciate it.
That's,
Yeah, and they are a strong group, but we were in that meeting today, and they are a strong group of people, so you've done a very good job of bringing a great group of people on too, and they weren't here before, so that's all you too. So, yeah, so, all right, so is that everything on the evaluation? All right, so then we have new business, which is an action to approve the 2023-24 school calendar. Just kind of exciting that that's all, I don't know what I think.
I would to approve the 2023-2024. I lost it.
We need like almost two, actually.
I'll second.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I would like a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion on it?
Sorry, that didn't mean.
No, it was announced, so I'm glad you mentioned it.
So I ask this every year, and so you probably already know what question to ask, but are we aligned with 4J? I see this as version B, which is why I asked the question.
We are, we're aligned with all of the districts locally.
Mhm.
And that's one of the criteria that we would be in alignment with most of them, the majority of them. The change in B, why it's A and B, is we had a calendar presented at CEA, the CEA leadership, and the CEA leadership requested let's consider balancing out the grading periods. So that the first quarter and second quarter had the same amount of days of the grading period. And what they were really asking for was a little bit of grace on the first week of school, because we have a structured transition into the school year where we have staggered start. And what it does is it shortens the grading period for them by a week. For curriculum instruction, because they're not getting the full curriculum, the lessons in during that week, that 3-day period. And so Joel and I worked together and we moved the grading, the actual grading day out, so that they got the full 9 weeks in that first quarter. And that balanced out the second quarter, with the second quarter. Didn't change the number of days between the two semesters. It just gave them one straight number of days.
The version B also actually aligned with betters. So for example, November is always kind of a messy month. And so that grade day that time lines up with veterans is identical for a day. And our midterm in the second semester, again, identical, second semester start date, identical.
Okay.
So really like 9%.
Okay. What's the purpose of your?
Yeah, I was actually going to.
So we have a lot of teachers who live in the 4-day district, who have kids who are on that schedule. So if their kids are out of school and they're in school, that puts a burden on our teachers that we don't necessarily need to put on our teachers. That's what I need.
Yes, we're at 10%. Oh, sorry.
But with Springfield as well, so with both of those districts, we all always in our mind with them.
Right.
We just have to vote now because I made the
All
motion.
right, okay, all right, everybody in favor? All right, awesome, all right, so then we revised it, we don't have that, and then there's an information item about budget. And so I did notice that, Carla, remind me, we have a couple open seats, right? So do we put those out?
Yes, we did, and we've not received any interest.
So no interest in being on it, we have two vacant seats. So, and when that was already gone and passed, we're done and.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's wonderful, we'll check in on that, I wasn't sure the timeline on that, so I can't do budget calendar until tomorrow. And. No, this is like. But any important dates on there?
Just this month, Chanel and I are working together on the budget. We're having those discussions before we're going. The legislature has agreed with the governor on the 9.9 billion, so they've moved that forward to the Ways and Means committee. The Ways and Means now will be determining what that level is. So we're providing feedback to the Ways and Means Committee on a 9.9 budget, and then what that would mean to our district, that level of funding. And so I prepared a response to that, and we're really advocating for 10.3. That's what we need for roll-up services across the state. And so that's where we're at. But the Ways and Means, they have the final say on what that budget's going to be. On the final budget, we're expecting that in May, around the first week or so of May. Get that number from it. So that's how much time we have to advocate to move it from 9.9 to 10.3 or as close as we can get it. I had a meeting with House Representative Conrad a couple of weeks ago, and scheduled a meeting with him this Friday, but they're having a emergency meeting, I guess, in the House, and so we're postponing that meeting for another week. But I will be meeting with them again to revisit the budget.
So when was our first meeting on there?
The budget committee meeting is May 17th.
All right, so we have a little bit of time, that everybody add that to your calendars. Right. And we have all our, we're on to last year reports, look at how fast we're going through. Super, I'd say super, it's gonna be lightning. All right, that's your advice, Mike, do you wanna go ahead?
All
Have anything to report?
Yeah, a couple of things. About a, yes, nothing over, so I went to the middle school competition. And that was fun. The kids did pretty good. I think they ended up in, I don't know, about the 70% level of competition, but they did well. And then one of our young ladies, and I probably shouldn't say this, but one of our young ladies, at high school, was on that 18 and 18 hockey team, and they won second at the state. And then kind of with Creswell, and so on. And then I went to the middle school track meet tonight before I came out here, which was kind of cool. I like watching those kids. So much energy, they're all running around screaming and hollering out how they were concentrating on what they're supposed to be doing. One thing I'll let you guys know, the middle school took a group to Portland for I think it was some kind of.
With FBLA, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the second.
Oh, yeah, to start with, did you know that?
And the state champion. And kids get really help in that FBLA. We had between high school and middle school, we had 24 kids who qualified for the nationals, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and Julie was recognized as well.
They, well, I was gonna get to that. Julie was recognized as the middle school principal of the year. One of our counselors was, I think, the middle school counselor of the year, and then Mrs. Anderson at the middle school. That lady is fantastic with those kids. She's been coaching them and getting them up there, and for the way they performed is absolutely unbelievable.
Does she do the health portion?
She's done. She was involved.
Okay.
I don't think we all teach it here, that the
Yeah.
kids, what tickles me is against the other schools, that, future business leaders thing, I think they're talking to school in the state.
Well, and that's fairly new. Is that new? I was gonna say, I don't remember that. That's great. My kids did it.
They just started the middle school this year.
That's what I was thinking. And then you found Julie, right? Yeah.
We might be getting that request for a trip to the nationals. I don't think that.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
It is.
So many kids qualified and. I don't think they like Portland though.
Yeah, that's
Story, but.
Yeah.
Because where's the streets changed and.
No, that's exciting. To have those club opportunities around the house.
The only other thing that I'd like to say, this is probably not the right place, but as we get closer to the election for the bond, I'd like to see us make some street signs and stand with, when they still ballots start going out. I think it's really important, the more the voters we get out, I think the better it's gonna help us. So if I can get some street signs, and a bunch of us hold, 4 or 5 o'clock at night, where everybody's coming home, or meet them at the school in the morning, when we come in, or whatever, just to make sure to get them to think about it and get out with it. That might make a little bit of difference. And then, have you guys, you thought about having another session with Doug? Those Friday morning talk things you used to do. When we get closer to that, is that something you consider? I don't know. The reason I say that is because the people watching that are way, way higher than the newspapers circulation right now.
I believe there's two, that I'll be working with 2 interviews.
Oh, super.
One will be Doug, and the other would be Malachi.
I think that will voters can get. It'll be better for us, so I think that'd be super if we do that. That's about all I had, but it was fun being involved and hear what the results of what those kids do. That was fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I didn't know all the numbers.
To piggyback on that,
Well, it's your turn, Mary.
yeah, like you just said, the thing that I love about Creswell going up to Portland, and these kids, a lot of them have never been, so I helped start the hosting here, right? So, but it rang true when Malachi came home, is that they compete against schools like Vincent Poly Tech. All they do is focus on health sciences, and some of our kids are winning and competing on like the same level as these kids. And so it just speaks volumes to the teachers, the commitment, and the experiences that are provided for them. So that is how Calvin chose OSU, and then it was through host and those things. And so it's really cool to hear that all these things are still going and building. They're still qualifying for nationals, which is super, super cool. So, let's see, I have been to a softball game and a baseball game and track meets. I went to the PAC meeting. We started the Yes for Creswell Facebook page.
I did see that.
And so I went to that meeting, and then I met Mike and we brought a drone and took some video footage and stuff. For videos, my husband did that. I slightly assisted, took some videos, and yeah, and then went to the meeting last night.
My springs aren't generally as busy. So
I think they're very busy.
different. Yeah, so since our last meeting, I mostly go to practice, softball games, and then more of those things in a repeating fashion. Unfortunately, it's rain, as you all know, it's been very rainy the last few weeks, so we've been inside a lot. But, that is what my month is.
I don't have a lot to report. I did leadership, and then steering committee today was good. It was nice to get that development of a graduate all wrapped up. And then booster auction preparation. That is what my life is right now. Booster auction is on May 6th. Just my little plug at Emerald Valley. Should be fun. When it's over? No, I'm sorry. It'll be great, but it'll be good. New place. So, all right, so that's your report, and then we have a resolution, teacher appreciation week. Now, I know in the past we read it, do we read it every time? Okay.
I've got a, why I thought not to read it.
Yes, we read it, my computer is not working.
I'm good. I have it on mine.
Oh, okay.
Teacher appreciation week resolution, whereas teachers mold future citizens through guidance and education, and whereas teachers encounter students of widely different backgrounds, and whereas our country's future depends upon quality education to all students, and whereas teachers spend countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling and coaching students, and performing community service, and whereas our community recognizes and supports its teachers in educating the children of this community, now therefore be it resolved that the Creswell School Board of Directors proclaims May 8th through 12th, 2023 to be Teacher Appreciation Week, and be it further resolved that the Creswell School Board of Directors strongly encourages all members of our community to join with it in personally expressing appreciation to our teachers for their dedication and devotion to their work. Adopted this the 12th day of April, 2023.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
That's a good one.
It is a good one.
I would say thank you to the teachers I know.
I will too. But yeah, it is something that we need to remember to do. I can't see anything, so it's real hard. Okay, and the last thing is school board professional development. Did anybody read their book? Yeah, I felt like that. I know.
Totally bad.
And you know, I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, without Tim and Lacey, I mean, I thought maybe if we just like put it off till next time, because we don't have the discussion would be better if we have them with us as well. So we'll just say that's why, not that people didn't read it. No, I'm just kidding. I did not. It's okay. We will forgive you. We've been hitting a lot of time. So I think that's everything. Oh, my God.
Maybe I should mention this.
Okay.
I talked to Lacey the other day and asked her if I could come back in and start going to Laney ESD meetings again.
Yep.
Just, I'm kind of missing not being around those guys. They're really good at what they do, and I really enjoy going to those meetings, and there's some things I'm doing on the side. I just want to make sure I make time for it. And she said, okay, I don't know if that has to be approved or it's her approval or what, but. I'll give you
Approve it.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay. powerful today. Yeah, we would love for you to go. I mean, I know you have good connections there and been there for a long time. and-
Known them for a long time, and they do some, really do some.
Yeah.
Stuff, I think they really help us out. And I think it's well run and big, so.
Yeah, no, we would love to have
That's
you.
okay, I'll need it.
Sounds good. We'll, make sure all of the appropriate people know that it will be the next person there, so. For sure. All right, is that all? All right. That is it. Adjourn our meeting.